Right, back here at Berragoon and catching up with Fiona Holtz. Firstly, Fiona, thank you very much for joining me.
No worries, lovely to be here.
This is an amazing draft, polo cross, sale. It's just an amazing horse event, full stop, isn't it?
Yeah, look, they've built this event over the last couple of years to be a must-come-to event, really, these days.
How long have you and Maddie been coming here?
It normally clashes with something we go to down at Sale, Camp Draft. This year, it's an hour from home. We decided that we would come and compete here, save the 7 hours drive down to Sale. We've bought horses through here before, but yeah, with that clash with trying to get our horses ready for Nutrien, we go down to that Gippsland, chase some nice dairy steers around. Yep. But this year, we opted to come and see what Berragoon are up to. It's
almost a local event for you guys. I think you just made the day trip, basically. Got up early, come here and go home early to this afternoon. So almost a local camp draft, I suppose.
Yeah, look, Holbrook is our local camp draft. It was an early 3:30 start this morning to be here, feed up before we came, and to be ready to go at 6 o'clock this morning.
You've got a couple of scores, which is a big effort because they've been, we can say they were tough cattle. I think once you got them out, they'll find it a little bit tough to get them out. Beautiful cattle, beautifully reared and presented, and that must be good that you just have two nice scores. You are tied for lead at the minute. I'm not going to measure this; won't go up until afterwards. But to get a couple of scores here must be a good feeling.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're right. The quality of heifers that we were working with this morning was second to none. They were beautiful heifers. Unfortunately, they had a few tricks in them for us and made it a little harder for us to camp draft. But look, at the end of the day, there's always a winner at camp drafting, and that'll show at the end of the day. But no, I was lucky. Last pen of cattle come in before a new truck came, and both of those went round. So me and Dennis, we were very lucky.
So the last two in with that does make. Is Dennis not tied for you in leading, is he?
No, he got a little lower score, and he was on the fresh. So I got the second one, but it was a better heifer.
What is it about camp drafting? Good luck, actually. Firstly, good luck in the final. As I said, I won't be putting this up until afterwards, so I'm definitely not going to measure because I want to be able to do more chats. What is it about camp drafting? I interview a lot of cowboys, Travis Bandy and Will Durkin, just saying that they're cowboys, they're young blokes, they enjoy it. It's a bit of fun riding horses, drinking beers with your mates. What actually is it about drafting that makes it so unique?
Oh, it's a thrill. It's like a drug when you go out there and you have a run, and particularly when you put one through that gate. It's a sport that's very much a leveller. You can go weeks of not being able to put much together, and then all of a sudden the camp draft gods come good for you, which they did today, and then you put them around, then you're hooked. You're back home, you're buying horses, you're training hard, you're putting the miles in, and then probably get a whip in the yard again the next weekend.
It is one of the great levelers of this sport, that whip in the yard, and I saw a few. I think I ran into Mark Barton earlier, and I heard his name on the thing. I thought I better go and take a photo, and anyone wondering, he got the whip in the yard on that. It is one of the great levelers, this sport. But I see you guys at Chinchilla. You have your daughter with you. She's riding around. She's with Stevie Hart. She's with anyone on her little pony. It is like young cowboys, as I said, the two boys just before, and there's plenty of others like them. They party hard, but they're also very, very respectful. But then families come along and can have so much fun, and you can leave your kid with other people and know they're in the right hands too. Isn't that right?
Yeah, no, look, absolutely. And I think we all love to be able to showcase what skills we're playing around with at home, and for a lot of us, working cattle is our job at home. So to be able to train horses and then go compete with the skills that you work with on a day-to-day basis, and level yourself against your mates, it's the Australian way, isn't it? We love it.
There's a Zimbabwean, he's from Zambia, not Zimbabwe, polo cross. He reckons us Aussies give a bit of cheek. We wouldn't do that, would we?
Doesn't sound right. No, that's all part of it, isn't it? The camaraderie, the little banter, it's what makes it a good sport. And when you do get that whip in the yard, that's what we can laugh it off and just be happy to show up again next time.
Do you enjoy the direction the sport's going? Some people don't want it to grow. Some people don't want other people to know about it. They want to keep it their own little secret. But yourself and Maddie, like I said, you were at Dunbolt 2 weeks ago. I've seen you in Chinchilla. You sort of go everywhere. You go back to Nutrien very shortly. Do you enjoy the way it's going, albeit getting busier and busier?
Yeah, look, I personally believe it's fantastic. It allows us to spend more money on horses. It allows us to go to competitions where we can redeem some of that money that we're investing into it. The quality of riders and where their training abilities are going to, like people are trying to make themselves better, they're buying better bloodlines, they're going to clinics, and I think what it does to the sport as a whole is huge in the direction that it's going. It feeds everyone, and then we get to, it's a hobby for some, but some of us it's a professional business as well, and we're all in it as a level playing field when we go and compete.
Do you enjoy how busy you and Maddie have got?
Look, this is our job as well as our weekend leisure. There's not a lot of downtime. Lucky that we love horses, and personally I love watching cattle. I love choosing cattle, coming from my cattle background, so it really combines the two together. And I often think if we stayed home, like what would we do? What would we do? You'd have to, renovate the house or plant the gardens or something like that, but much rather be away and camp drafting on the road, seeing different parts of Australia. We don't go a lot of holidays as such without horses, but I've most definitely seen a lot of Australia in a truck towing a caravan with a bunch of horses, so at least that has allowed us to do that. We
got to see the Mooney Roadhouse, and none of us going back there for a quick breakfast because that doesn't happen back there, but you're spot on, and I do reckon we undersell it sometimes, and I know I find myself taking videos and that while I'm driving along, just looking at some of the farms. It's a beautiful country we've got, and it is a great way of seeing it. But the people you get to these drafts, the performance horses, the people that are buying in, week out of this industry, it is a great sport. There's so many kids around, and it's so fun. Like with your daughter, you must enjoy being able to bring it to these events and knowing she's going to be safe and well looked after.
Oh, she is, and look, she first trip to Queensland she did this last year, and I think she knows more people than I do now. She made herself well known. But no, look, it's a great sport for networking with other people like-minded, even if you think of it in the rural sector, of being able to network and have ideas of how people are running their farms and what they're doing to make their business successful, and just being able to chat off-farm with people. I think that it has its own element for people's mental health and just being out and about and socialising and off the place for a while.
It's a great sport. Good luck later on today. Hopefully you can get the chockies. If not, it doesn't matter. You've had two scores, and if you get the whip in the yard in the final, so be it. That's what I mean. You don't exactly. As I was going to say, you don't want it, but that's what happens. I've heard some great stories of people. Pete Kaminsky giving lessons, telling people the only thing you don't want to do is get the whip in the yard. He was first run out at Alice Springs. I think he said he'd done a full day clinic. First run he got the whip in the yard. It happens to the best of us, and it's one of the sports. Probably
one of the most important lessons people can learn in this sport is to take those whips in the yards or that under the peg outside. It's going to happen, and you need to learn to be able to leave that in the arena and leave it behind and show up again for another run.
Rock up outside the camp, sit with your mates, try and pick the thing. And that's one thing I've seen yourself and Maddie, Bronnie Upjohn, good friend of mine, last week, 2 weeks ago at Dumboldt. You guys were still there late in the night helping her select cattle. You don't have to do it, but you just do it, and everyone does it. It's not just you guys, so it's a really cool sport, and I hope more people understand actually what they have. Like I said, there's a lot of people who don't want me to promote it because they want to keep it to themselves, but when you've got something this good, the world's better off for it, I think. So yeah, Fiona, good luck.
Thank you very much.
And no comment on the other thing. We just leave that alone. He's a shitsura, so we'll just leave him there. He hasn't had too bad a year this year, actually, has he? He's been going okay at it too. So
he's half-handy, so
we'll just leave it at that, half-handy, and that'll do him. Fiona, thank you.
Thank you very much.